What's up, everybody? Welcome in. How's it going today? We're going to be taking a look at another Best Action Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle. This is Leonardo, and he will be the final one of the four turtles that we have to open out of this set here. So if you missed the other ones, make sure you go back in the videos and check out the other three turtles because they're definitely uploaded with my first impressions and everything of all of those. As you can see, the box is pretty similar to the others. Leonardo has a blue background, Raphael had a red background, Donatello had purple, and Michelangelo had the orange background here behind the actual figure itself. That is one difference. And then the turtle actually in the side profile picture here is the turtle that's in the box. As we turn it to the side here, we do get the same picture that we got on all of the other boxes. So that will be the same. And that is the picture of the turtles that kind of drew me into this line. I saw them sitting on the side like this. And as I said in the other videos, it kind of just hit a special place for the turtles for me. I don't have any turtles quite like these ones here. They just remind me of the old I don't know, like turtle pie turtles, and I just liked them. I can't really say anything else other than that. I know they're kind of cheap looking, but I was intrigued with them, and I was really impressed when I got the other ones pulled out of the box. Hopefully, it'll be the same with Leonardo. Towards the end of the video, we'll go ahead and get them all out, line them up down here, and compare, and I'll let you know which one's overall my favorite and why. It says here on the back of the box, Leonardo, Leo, is dedicated, disciplined, and selfless. He's a perfectionist with a strong moral sense. Because of his serious, responsible nature, Leo is like the big brother of the group, Splinter's right-hand turtle, and the leader of the team. Leonardo's weapon of choice is the twin katana swords. As you can see, he comes with those. He does come with two different head sculpts. It looks like a manhole cover, and then he will come with 3 sets of hands, so a total of 6 hands. It says incredible sculpt details and 31 points of articulation. So we're going to go ahead and get him pulled out of the box, take a closer look, and then we'll compare these turtles and let you know which one's my favorite. All right, so here he is pulled out of the box. First things first, I feel like we should go ahead and take a look at his alternate head sculpt. I have been a fan of the alternate head sculpts. I did switch the other 3 turtles to the alternate head. I feel like the head that comes on the turtle, and we will take a look at that, is pretty standard. It's the same head on all 4 turtles, I think. It just has a different color bandana. So it was nice that they included a second head with an additional face, so they all have a different expression on their face. I thought that was really cool, and I'm probably going to go with this one on Leonardo as well. I did like the second head sculpt better on all of them. However, maybe we'll keep this one on Leo just to kind of give him a more stoic leader looking vibe. And then he did come with this manhole cover. It says city sewer on it right here. I don't know how well that's picking up on the camera, but city sewer. Flip it over and we're going to have the same thing on the other side. So pretty cool little accessory that he did come with. This will plug into his back, and I'll show you that in just a second before we go over his articulation, and that's what's just going to hold the swords. All of the turtles have also come with a piece like this that plugged into the back, and it fits really nice. As far as his additional hands, he does come with some fisted hands in case he needs to punch somebody, do some turtle fighting, something like that. So always good to have the Fists of Fury. And then he does have some grabbing hands as well, so he will be able to hold his swords, no problem, both of them, or you can hold one sword with a fist. And then he does have the splayed open hands, as you can see here. So Leonardo looking pretty good so far. First thing we're going to do is pick him up and turn him around. I'm going to try to get this plugged into his back. And hopefully we don't got it upside down. And if we don't got it upside down, it should plug in pretty easy, which it looks like it is. All right. Did we get it upside down? I've gotten them upside down before, so it wouldn't surprise me. Let me go ahead and just try it the other way. Yeah, I think we had it right the first time. Go ahead and get this one plugged in first. Get it plugged in there.
These seem to stay in pretty good, but I've considered putting super glue on them just to make sure. So there he is. He's got that put back on. And the only thing we haven't gone over are his twin katanas. They are not gummy like Raph's, so I feel like these ones could bend and possibly crease, or you may be able to break these. So you want to be a little more careful with these swords right here. I just feel like they're definitely creasable, and that won't look so hot. So we'll go ahead and get them stuck back here. Maybe this isn't the best design, right? Like those, that's too far down on his back. So if I had to make a complaint, so far the only one that I'd have to complain about is Leonardo, and that's because that's ridiculous. When he's running, that would cut his legs. So there is a design flaw with Leonardo's weapons here, so we'll probably just go ahead and pull those out because that's really ridiculous. That's really disappointing. That needs to be much higher up on his back. But rather here nor there, we'll get his hands switched out to different hands. That way he can just hold those swords and we don't got to worry about plugging them into the back. I'm going to go ahead and pull this head off. Let's give you a good look at this face sculpt here. Pretty nice. Nice looking blue. I like the shade of blue that came with Leonardo. But we're going to go ahead and pull this head sculpt off. Easy as that. Just has this simple ball peg. And then I'm going to put this other one on so we can take a look at that. All right, so there that is. If you want to take a look at the alternate head sculpt for Leonardo. And as you can see, he can look up about that high. He can look down about that far. He can look to the left. He can look to the right. They do have the butterfly-like shoulder joints, so they can rotate in as well as all the way back. Do have the spinning bicep, and they can spin all the way around at the shoulder. He does have a double jointed elbow as well as a spinny wrist, and it can articulate in and out. There's a ball joint on the shell. You can't really see it in there, but it's kind of a ball joint that just gives you a tiny bit of articulation in the shell there. We do have an ab crunch here, but it doesn't really work. The shell kind of hinders it. He can go back and forth side to side just a little bit, but not much. Both arms are going to articulate exactly the same. We do have a little bit of waist rotation, but not much. Splits, not a very good split for a ninja, but I guess it'll do for old Leonardo there. Front and back, he can get pretty far. And then he does have that hip or thigh cut here. Double jointed knees. And then the fully posable articulated feet. They can go side to side as well as up and down. So the range of motion and the articulation with Leonardo is really good. Couldn't ask for better articulation out of a $10 figure. I'm going to go ahead and get these hands switched out. And they literally just plug in, just that simple. And then we can get the katanas put in the hands. He does seem to hold those really nice. So I'll go ahead and get Leonardo set up here, and then I will get his brothers pulled in here with them. We'll kind of go over our final thoughts of all four turtles and kind of compare and contrast them. I'll let you know which one's my favorite, as I said, the different accessories and stuff that came with each one, and why I chose the one I chose. All right, so here's all four of the brothers posed up together, each with their secondary head sculpts on, and I am going to keep them this way because it definitely looks better. It just adds more personality to them, and I really like them this way, set up with their weapons all in their hands so you can see them. It works better than trying to put them in those things on their back, which do store the weapons, and as I said, Leonardo's really the only one that I had an issue with. The weapon storage
Raphael's the only one that I had a issue with the actual weapons themselves. They're just very, very gummy and bendable, so a little too much for my taste. I did say I was going to compare them real quick before I told you which one was my favorite. So, with that being said, I'm going to tell you also their extra accessories. So, Mikey did come with this grappling hook in case you didn't see that video and you haven't had time to go back and check it out yet. The extra accessory for Michelangelo was the grappling hook. You saw Leonardo had the manhole or sewer cover here. Really cool coming with him. Raphael came with the extra weapon. He didn't really come with any other accessories but this extra weapon here, which is maybe a throwing knife. I'm not exactly sure what that is. And then Donatello came with this cool piece of pizza. So I'm glad they each came with their own little extra thing. I think that's nice. It kind of sets them all apart. Now, as I've gone through all these turtles and it's time to pick out my favorite, just looking at their faces and the different sculpts, it's definitely going to be a tie between Leonardo and Michelangelo. I like almost everything about both of them. I guess since I'm going to pick one, I'm not going to leave you with a tie of a choice. Michelangelo is going to have to be my favorite, and really the only thing that puts him ahead of Leonardo in this section is the way that Leonardo's weapons attach to his belt on the back of his shell. I feel like that was a design flaw and the only really one out of these sets of turtles. They articulate really well. They seem to be very durable, and the weapon storage was really good on all of them except Leonardo here. His weapons were great. He looks great. I think it's a great looking turtle. The head sculpt is probably my favorite out of all four. Is the Leonardo head sculpt. So it was a tough decision being between Leonardo and Michelangelo, but just simply because the way they have his swords going into his belt, I'm not a fan of that. Even though I'm going to display them this way, but that is what gives Michelangelo the lead. Thank you guys for watching the video. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button and the like button if you could. It helps out so much, and I appreciate it. So thank you very much. Have a blessed day. Don't forget to tell someone you love them, and we'll see you next time.